I have been given the topic of ADR. I would like to clarify that in my perception, ADR only includes those mechanisms, those processes which bring about a resolution. I need to clarify this because my one colleague who just went out from the last session, he told me, I hope you will speak something about arbitration. Firstly, the time isn't there to talk about that, but mainly because I do not see arbitration as part of ADR, because ADR is alternate dispute resolution. Arbitration is just another form of adjudication, a private court that you set up for yourself between the parties that you have a dispute with. Mediation and conciliation are the real processes of resolution, because if you go through that channel successfully, then it resolves everything, and you do not then have to have an appeal or a challenge to the award as you have in arbitration. Therefore, resolution is really these processes, and I will restrict my talk just on these two. There is not much difference between the two, so we may take conciliation as just another word or a type of mediation. And there are several types of mediation processes, transformative and narrative. But we will talk about facilitative mediation, where the mediator sits with the parties and finds out what their issues are and gets them to talk to each other. That's the main important thing, that they talk to each other. If you all have seen TV recently, the ad of Tata Sky, which says that fellow goes to a shop and the shopkeeper immediately catches him, chalo isko ye shirt pehnao, isko wo pant pehnao. This is what happens when you go to a court of law. The judge will give you something to wear and you are stuck with it, or you go into appeal and then wait for 20 years. Now there is a saying that it's rather than cursing the darkness, it's better to light a lamp. The darkness, unfortunately, is our corridors of our courts, and the lamp is mediation, conciliation. Why I say so is because mediation is where you make your choice. Meri marazi. You get to choose how you shall deal with the person that you have a dispute with down the line, and today how you shall sit and resolve with that person whatever your issues were in the past. The benefit of mediation, I will just give you one example, because if I say, for example, this fruit which you have never tasted, it's sweet. You say, well, why should I buy a fruit that costs 35 rupees when I can take a spoon of sugar for 10 paise and get that sweetness? So it's better to taste a mango and realize how different that sweetness is from sugar. So I'll just give you one example. Consider this situation which happened in another jurisdiction outside India. There were these two distant relatives. They had one common aunt. The aunt had a lot of estate and a lot of properties, and she was living in a sort of a semi-castle place which had huge lawns. And these two nephews would take care of that aunt because she did not have any other relatives. And these two nephews, who were otherwise too distantly related with each other, did have this one common aunt, and therefore a bonding developed down the line just for the purpose of taking care of the aunt. That's how it started, but then the bonding happened on its own, where it would happen that one would go to the other's house in his car and they would, over a cup of coffee, discuss several things, including how to take care of the aunt down the line, getting the gun, getting the doctors, the medicine, the nurse, all full-time staff and all that. One day, it so happened that that car which was just coming down the lane of this, I would let's say A and B. So B saw A's car coming and he immediately put the kettle for boiling, and he came out to open the door and realized the car has zipped past instead of coming in. So he wondered what happened, and suddenly a thought struck him that yes, the aunt has now expired last week, so now he doesn't need me. And that passing thought led him to call up his lawyer. What had happened was that a week back, the aunt that they were taking care of for the last 2-3 years expired, and she left a will in which everything was bequeathed to A, nothing to B. For one whole week, B knew about it, but never had any ill will against his nephew, against his cousin. But when he saw the car pass by, this passing car brought a passing thought, and he wondered and he felt cheated that behind my back A has been using me to take care of the aunt, but has behind my back got that will in his favor. And he called up his lawyer. He said, what can we do? Can we do something? Now naturally, we lawyers are always ready to jack up our billable hours. So if you come to us with a problem, we will not say, daat nikal do. We'll say, nahi, thoda root kanal karenge, phir dekhenge. And 20 visits you have. No, I don't blame my dentist, but normally we lawyers tend to do that. If we will do this, then let's consider. Then now in Bombay we have another better system. We say, we'll go to a senior counsel, take his opinion, then we'll consider. So one additional cost coming up. So that lawyer said, don't worry, we'll challenge the will. So he challenged the will, and the matter was filed in court. And the court had in that jurisdiction started mediation for about a year or so. So after a few months that this matter was on the registry, the judge got the matter and he said, well, I think you should try mediation because I will take some time and it's better to see if you can resolve it amongst yourself. This seems to be a fit case. You people seem to be knowing each other. So he referred it to mediation. Now, in mediation, the mediator explained to them the process and said, now who would like to start first? And now no one said anything. So he said, well, whose challenge is this? He said, well, I have filed that challenge. So would you like to tell us why you challenged that will? And he said, yes. And he explained what I just explained, that he saw the car and he called up his lawyer. And whilst he was saying that, A said, that was on a Thursday. So now the